what happened before you were born? I mean, that's an important question too. Where were you before you showed up? In the end, we are all made of the same stuff: earth, water, and air, which recycles as our body. Death affects the body, but not the spirit. The spirit recycles itself through the physical body.
For over 50 years, research has been conducted at the University of Virginia into cases of apparent reincarnation and the possible implications of our consciousness experiencing multiple lifetimes.
After 50 years of research now, we've got 2,500 cases in our files of young children who reported memories of previous lives. Several hundred of the cases have involved birthmarks or birth defects that match wounds on the body of the previous person. And some of them have also included written records where we know precisely exactly what the child said about the previous life, and then we can match that with the previous person that's been identified. One is a little boy named Sam Taylor. When he was about 1.5 years old, his dad was changing his diaper one day, and Sam looked up at him and said, "When I was your age, I used to change your diapers." But he kept saying this stuff. He kept saying, "I was grandpa, and I used to be big." And he came up with some pretty interesting details, like he talked about the grandfather's sister being murdered. And in fact, she had been killed some 60 years before, and his parents felt certain that he'd never heard about it. He also talked about his wife, which was his grandmother, but his wife from the past life. He says some specific details, and then when she died when he was about 4.5, and his dad went out and collected belongings and so forth, and came back with some family photos. So one night, Sam's mom had them spread out on the coffee table, just looking at the various pictures. Well, Sam walks over and starts pointing to pictures of his grandfather and saying, "That's me, that's me." And also a picture of it was his grandfather's first car, and there's no one in the car, but it's just a picture of the car, and he got very excited and said, "Hey, that's my car." So to test him, his mom showed him a picture of a class photo from elementary school and said, "Okay, well then show me where you are in the picture." And he ran his finger along the different faces and stopped at one of his grandfather and said, "That's me." So that was one that has what we call recognition, where he was able to pick out his grandfather, and again in a group photo. It's what we call a same family case, where a child is seeming to remember the life of a family member. I mean, some people criticize the work simply by dismissing it out of hand by saying reincarnation can't happen, so obviously there's no value to this work. But that's really not a very scientific, sort of scientism perhaps, but it's not a scientific view of letting your beliefs prejudice your view of the evidence, when it should, of course, be the other way around.